InshaAllah, what we got from our SMC families online, InshaAllah.
Assalamu alaikum Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Are you making questions up last night? Some people said, I think he made those questions up. I'm going to check on you. Jibreel, you're under the hot seat. Color was a banana. Was a banana really yellow? Some of the questions last night, was it real or Jibreel made those up? Go back and look again now, make sure it's a real question. Yeah. Yes sir.
Assalamu alaikum Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
What does it mean when Allah said, and we ransomed him with a great sacrifice? Was it the sacrifice of Imam Hussain alayhi salam?
Who's trying to link Sayyidina Imam Hussain salam and Sayyidina Isma'il salam? Say, are they brothers? So this is the way of Prophet ﷺ. So that's what we've already given now. So the ransom, with the tremendous ransom, alhamdulillah, that's from Zishan, because he's trying to put the haqqaiq. No doubt that the reality of Qurban is Imam al-Hussain salam. That his willingness to intercede for the nation of his beloved grandfather, and the harshness and difficulty in which he accepted to achieve his death, the death of his family, the death of his loved ones, the death of those whom loved him and followed him alayhi salam, is a tremendous sacrifice. He alayhi salam is the reality of a qurban, that he became the qurban for the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad, that the 72 and one Imam Hussain salam, they saved the nation from the 72 firqa that go astray. Instead of people reading the hadith of there are 72 nations that go astray, now they're beating each other saying, you're the one who's going astray. That's not what brothers do. When a family is being attacked, they don't start stabbing each other. They lost their mind that they're doing that. The reason to be told that 72 would go astray, for souls more powerful than them to understand it's your responsibility, intercede for this nation. That this is a nation most loved by Allah. This is a nation that represents the Divinely realities of paradises and heavens, and they're not going to be left astray. And as a result, the immensity of the reality of Imam al-Hussain is not like dunya people, where the royalty have everything easy. They do nothing, they've done nothing. But the royalty of heavens, they show by example. The Prophet and Sayyidina Isma'il coming into our lives and saying, sacrifice. But showing, no, we don't say sacrifice for the sake of saying sacrifice, but we show by our example that we sacrificed. If you want to follow our example, at least be like us. How different it is than this dunya now, when people say sacrifice, they don't do anything. They tell you go sacrifice yourself. Look what's happening now in these countries. You know the leaders of these people, 2 million people are being slaughtered. Their leaders are all in Qatar and Dubai, with billion-dollar contracts and children all in private schools. This is acceptable? No. What Imam Hussain did what? told them, you stay home, I'm going to go deal with it. And I would take my family and my children to go there. And the people of Medina begged and cried and said, we're seeing dreams, you're not coming back from this. So if you're seeing dreams, imagine the station of Imam Hussain. Of course he knows what he's doing, he's an awliya. Sayyid al-Shuhada means anyone whom wants to be from mushahada, in which their heart open to see, and Ahl al-Basira, Sayyid al-Shuhada has to sign for you, right? So in the spiritual realm, like you go through immigration or security services, they give you a card, each office has to sign your card. No wilayat comes without Imam Ali signs. Any shaykh, any tariqah, somebody born in Alcatraz, in Kalamazoo, wherever they are, if Allah says, I want this servant to reach to these realities, the ruhaniyat has to be presented to Imam Ali and he has to sign under their character that now they are on a path of wilayat. So how can somebody speak with good manners and good character and love for the Ahlul Bayt of Prophet when they have these responsibilities? And anyone whom is going to be destined to be Ahlul Basira and to see Imam al-Hussain must sign. If Imam al-Hussain is going to sign for them to see, then they must have an immense love, immense characteristic, and they have to have been trained by Imam al-Hussain for their heart to open and their spiritual vision to begin to open. So yes, they are the realities of a qurban. They are the realities of وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا Bani Adam, the highest of creation, the noblest of families. They shed their blood onto this earth all over for the sake of the love of Allah to give to us that follow my example in your life, that you're not going to ever be like me. Nobody could do like that. Nobody could take their family into harm's way knowingly. These people are suffering and they don't leave. They say, go like Exodus out. Nope, say right there. But nobody can achieve like these realities. But at least he comes into our life and begins to teach sacrifice. We teach this in Muharram, that as soon as you want to email and complain about every problem in your life, really you feel like you can be in the presence of Imam Hussain and really complain that your life is tough, your situations are rough, everything is so hard for you. Really? Or you're just a silly person in the face of their reality. You feel shamed. So when you're at their feet and you're crying, you're ashamed to even mention something's rough, but just send your nazar and your madad, you're the sultan of these realities. But it's never going to be in comparison of the difficulty you faced, the hardships you faced. What were you feeling when your family's being slaughtered in front of you? Not he died first. It's horrific that each one of the adults went, then each one of the children went into the field, slaughtered and killed, and he witnessed them. He picked and collected their bodies and brought them back until he finally gave his own life in Allah's way. So every time we have a difficulty, I can never reach what you reached. But because you're the sultan and king of sacrifice, just send your nazar on me and make my difficulties to go, and put a backbone in me to have strength to sacrifice and have good character. And sacrifice is so many things in our life, none of which are violent. So crazy people out there hear what they want from the devil whispering in their head. Sacrifice is immense strength. Sacrifice is not a bully smacking somebody. Sacrifice is Imam Ali that you have power to hurt, but you never use it. When Imam Ali was in battle, the man spit on him, he put his sword down. So now, so why you put your sword away? Come on. So, no, before I was going to fight you for Allah's sake. Now you spit on me, if anything should happen, Allah is going to ask me, did you fight for me? Or did your qadab and anger enter and now you struck someone? Just to avoid that I put and shielded my sword. This is the history of Islam that nobody would talk about. Means that to have a strength when people talk bad, when the laws of men are not correct, and you remain patient, you remain calm, and you realize your role from the heavens upon this earth was what? Guide them back to Allah. When they put upon themselves so much zulumat, so much darkness, so much confusion, Islam is the shining star for all of humanity. Not what the news wants to tell people, oh you're going to be in trouble with their sharia law. No, their laws are the laws of the heaven to guide people back to humanity, to safety, to respect. The guy was yelling and complaining on social media that, oh you Muslim, you come and you make everybody to be respectful, everybody to treat people good, as if this was a bad thing. All the women are converting into Islam because they want to be with the Muslim men, follow Islamic laws, be respected, be told that there's something precious, that there's something from the heavens. And he was arguing as if it was something bad. He says, does this sound like something bad to you? That to be respected, to be honoured, and to respect your children. The children all are coming to Muslims now because they don't belong anywhere, they don't have a culture, they don't assimilate with anything but gangs, and they come in droves into Islam to feel a brotherhood, to feel a purpose, to have a set of laws and guidance because the parents were drunk and not paying attention to them. This is a bad thing? Or this was the ways of the heavens? So Islam comes as a guiding light, that as everything becomes dark, Islam stays shining. Not the ones who sold their Islam, but the ones whom are on tariqas and paths of reality, in which there is no paying that can sell their faith. Allah describes in Surah An-Nur, neither their business nor their trade distracts them from the dhikr of Allah. Means they're both successful in their business and their trade, and they're Ahl dhikr. And as a result they dispense guidance, and this is the role of Islam in the last days, is to respect the laws of men until they turn to you and say, we're just too much in a darkness, our children are lost and our women are lost, our lives are lost. What do? Come back to the kingdom of Allah, come back to respect and to honour. And that becomes the example that the world is seeing, sacrifice, not compromise. They watch Islam and they say, we've never seen a people like this. They're seeing them being mutilated and they move that away, call the azan and start praying. And what do they call themselves? They say, we're a people of compromise. We compromised entirely our faith. We compromise until we have nothing left of it. Because that's all the devil wants, is to chip away at somebody's faith chip by chip. He doesn't take everything away in one shot, because then you would recognize the devil's with you. A life of compromise is, do you mind if you don't wear that when we go for dinner? Do you mind if you don't do like that? Do you mind that you have to pray in the middle of this event? Do you have to do like this? You have to do like that? So of course I have to do it. I'm not going to compromise any of that. This is who I am. Because the other side, they never compromise. So, oh, it's your Ramadan, we're going to fast with you. Oh, it's your time for salah, I'll join you today. So this is our life and our way, inshaAllah. Was that a question or there was a different talk? So Imam Hussain is the reality of the Qurban. Good job Zishan, you brought that out.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, if Bani Israel is 70,000 prophets, is Bani Isma'il the other that makes up 124,000 prophets? Forgive my ignorance, Sayyidi.
No, I don't know where the numbers came from. That's why the notes are important. That we said the ulama have come back and said at least out of 124,000 messengers and Rasuls, one whom had a message or they reconfirmed the message, Nabi and Rasul, out of 124,000, 313 had a message and 70,000 at least were dark skinned. That's where that number came of 70,000, had nothing to do with Bani Israel. So at least 70,000 Prophets of Allah are dark skinned. So this is that reality that we talked about, and that the Bani Israel line majority dark skinned. Sayyidina Sulaiman dark skinned, Queen Bilqis of Sheba dark skinned, Ethiopian, Eritrea, these entire regions. Sayyidina Musa very dark skinned, not even Middle Eastern dark. So this was the lineage of Bani Israel. So anyone claiming that they're from Bani Israel, that must be their lineage. So we don't see that lineage. So that's questionable to what tribe they belong. So if somebody says that their origin is in Islam and their roots are from Islam, well, they're not going to be Chinese. Chinese are converts. You have to be Hashemite, from Bani Hashim. The roots are from Prophet. So that's the importance. So the roots of Sayyidina Musa and the Kohanim, which are the Ahlul Bayt of Nabi Musa, they're called Kohanim, are black, dark skinned, not white. There's no Kohanim that are white. Food for thought. So this is a haqqaiq, this is a reality. You can say whatever you want and that doesn't matter, but its reality is the reality, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Regarding today's talk, if some negative energy has entered into our family, if we keep our salawats and connections at home, even if we do not live with our family, can it help to get the negative energy out even if other family members are focusing outwardly?
Yeah, everyone has to the ability that they can do, is that we try to do our own tafakkur, our own zikr, using the fragrances, isfan, all the tools given to us, our ta'weezes, and trying to make our own sanctuary. So take what was talked about today and say, look, I'm sitting at home, the laws of men becoming confusing. So as a result, look what they're doing in different environments. I don't want to eat and drink now when I go out because it's going to be difficult, I just want to come back into my abode. So you become more restrictive in where you're going, because these laws of men seem to be very difficult to abide by. So then the person stays more in their home, Now somebody in a difficulty even in their home, then they try to apply it again even to their room. So I'm going to put the ta'weez in my room, I'm going to put my sajada in my room. I step out of my room, it's a different energy and I can't control, I don't have the authority to control the entire house, but I will try to control my room and what I do in my room and the practices I do in my room. So everybody can take that understanding to themselves. I can't make everybody in the room to do good things and have good energy, but I'll take myself to my room and make my own sanctuary and do my practices so that I have good energy. And ufawwidu amri inallah innallahu basirun bil ibad. Allah knows the condition He put His servant. He said, I know you don't have any power over your father, I put you in that condition, but you have power over yourself. So that's the test for that servant, that's not the test to change the whole home. Allah didn't give you authority, but He says, I gave you authority over yourself. So you're going to now struggle to keep your energy straight and right, correct. So everybody will be tested to whatever situation Allah has put them in. If you have a home in which no one listens to you or submits to the heaven, you submit to Allah and keep praying that, Ya Rabbi, protect me, protect them, guide them through patience and perseverance, through good character. Then you apply a discipline. If you leave the discipline, then whatever happens, happens. But just to let the reins go, then you're responsible for that. So if you're riding on a horse and you say, this horse not listening, does that mean you let it go? The horse not listening. So I try to ride, he's trying to kick me off. But if you think you release the reins, the horse will get any better, most likely will kill you. He's going to throw you off and you're gone completely out of control. So never in life it's about releasing control to everything, especially for men. Men are responsible to be the imam of their home. If the imam quits, what happens in life? It's finished. People were telling us funny things, it sounds funny in a story. Well, the imam just quits the masjid, he just leaves. Nobody knows what time it's to pray, what time is early to pray. He decides he wants to pray a maghrib an hour earlier, he prays maghrib an hour earlier. Well, what is that? What kind of imam is that? Scary imam. So you can't quit the reins. Allah give you a responsibility, hold the responsibility. Even if nobody wants to come and pray with you, put your turban and you pray. Mawlana Shaykh would teach us when we're talking, he said, nobody want to come and listen to your talk? I said, no. He said, put your turban in front of you, give a sohbat to your turban until it's more interesting, and then maybe Allah will send some other people to listen to you. Because probably it's not interesting, they don't care what you have to say. I said, who am I going to talk to? He said, put your turban in front of you, and then give them a sohbat. And then you practice and trained, and maybe the deliverance wasn't correct, the demeanor wasn't correct. But every condition, Allah doesn't want you to quit. He knows what He put you in. That's why we keep making the same du'as, that you make the du'a too. Ufa'udu amri inallah inallahu basirun bil ibad. Ya Rabbi, they're yelling at me. I'm not going to yell back. You see my condition. Change their hearts and stop their tongue. And Allah can make somebody bite their tongue and they can never yell at you again. You don't have to yell back, you don't lower your demeanor. So everything is nothing to be given up. Everything Allah's looking and say, don't give up. Don't give up on your family, don't give up on your home, don't give up on your belief, nothing. Because for us is the struggle and to Allah is the victory. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam. Oh, now you have echo. It's better sound than mine, I don't have echo.
Sayyidi, we have requests for bay'ah from new members and a question related to the bay'ah.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum, Sayyidi.
Remind me before we end, then we'll do the bayat online inshallah.
On the talk of the Rabb, when we give bay'ah, is our shaykh the authority over us, where we should sami'na wa ata'na, obey every teaching? Please forgive any wrong understanding.
Yeah, the bay'ah is to Allah Azza wa Jal, and to reach to Allah Azza wa Jal is the hand, because we have to reach through dunya to akhirah, and the dunya of that reality is the hand of Prophet ﷺ. That we have to be connected to Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, because the journey is to La ilaha illallah. Oh no, you have an echo on this one? A reverb? Right? So how are you going to go to La ilaha illallah except through Muhammadun Rasulullah ﷺ? Then I have to find the representatives of the hand of Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ. 124,000 upon this earth. So Allah made it easy for people and not just one, because that would be hard, because everyone has a different demeanour. This is also in the madhab. Why is Shafi'i madhab? A lot of Egyptians and Arabs, because they have a different culture. The Hanafi are the subcontinent culture, because it adheres more to them, it was more interesting to their culture, easier for them to adhere to. Why did parts of Arabia only adopt the Hanbali? So it means this was Allah's rahmah, that we don't want to make it one flavour for everyone. Islam is one flavour, but its jurisprudence adapts itself to environments, locations and conditions. So this is an immense rahmah of Allah. This is the rahmah of Islam. Other nations, they pray only in a temple. They cannot pray on the street, they cannot pray in a structure. If they move into an area, they have to create a temple. So they have to move into an area where there's a few people so they can have a temple. What Allah gave as a rahmah to this nation, take your carpet, anywhere you want you pray. This is the gift from Allah to Prophet. Any way you turn you will find me there, and everywhere is a masjid for the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad. This is a rahmah from Allah, because this is a love that He has for the reality of Prophet, and that this is a nation that immensely gifted. So then same, that we want you to reach to the Muhammadan haqqaiqs, find one of these 124,000 in which your heart resonates with them. Take your path, swear your allegiance, study. Listen to the teachings, follow along. If your heart is confused by what he says, agitated by its realities, go somewhere else. Don't waste your time. It's nothing forceful. That's why many people click on our videos, have no interest whatsoever. Go. Don't force yourself into anything. It's worse if you force yourself, you take your bay'at, then you go. Then you're in trouble, because you're trying to lock and pull something from your soul. So this is the barakah of social media, where people can watch and say, my soul resonates with what this man is teaching, and I haven't heard it anywhere else. It's the only thing I want to eat of its realities. It comes into my heart and soul. Then you know, okay, then this is somebody you're going to take your allegiance with. You're going to study and understand and follow their system of how to reach towards realities, and don't mix it with anyone else and anything else. And we know that in the physical world, there's 4 universities in this city, for example. Can you take a math course in one university and then go take the exam in another university in their math course? No, they throw you out. How could you possibly do that? What that professor taught, he's going to teach you and test you from what he taught. Not that is it less, no. But the professor at USC is going to teach something different, UCLA something different, Stanford something different. Your responsibility is for what he taught, and you're going to be tested from what he taught. Why then would people apply something different in spirituality? All of a sudden for some reason spirituality becomes crooked. They put their hand in their mouth a different way. It's very easy, just your hand reaches to your mouth like this. Why all of a sudden spirituality, the title became so complicated? But in the dunya you know how to do it. In the dunya you know what you have to study and who's going to be testing you. And that's why you say, okay, this is what I want to study. And when I study it, then I'm going to adhere to it, I'm going to follow the guidance for it that he wants me to do, and I'm going to connect and I should achieve. Very simple process. People say, oh, his teachings are very complicated. Absolutely not. It's only complicated for the heart that has nothing to do with his reality. I watch videos in Chinese, I have nothing of any interest. But I'm sure Chinese people like it, so it doesn't resonate with me. So our teachings for some people is like Chinese. They don't understand it. Oh, what is he talking about energies, why he's talking about this, what is he talking about that. So it's very simple. When our heart resonates, it's something that feels good, I understand this is what my heart wants, then I take my allegiance to reach to Prophet's hand, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
How to accompany our kids who are hearing the teaching and want to apply it by making sacrifices in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal in our daily lives. Thank you Sayyidi.
I don't understand that. How to who the kids want to make sacrifices? Yep, but like I think we've talked before that everything is based on the parents. So this is the sacrifice, this is the greatest sacrifice. That's why we're not a teacher for kids, we're the teacher of men. So the father has to step forward, the father has to believe, the father has to sacrifice, the father has to have a strong discipline. And this is the importance, that when the family is disciplined, the adults are disciplined, they speak tariqah, they have the adab of tariqah, on the dinner table they have the characteristics of tariqah, your children will be tariqah. But if you're on the table and you mock the shaykh, you mock the teaching, I don't know what he talked about last week, it was so you do like that, what do you think your kids will do? They'll grow up and say, you know what, you ridiculed this path the whole time, I have nothing to do with you or that, and your Islam is a joke. One day the little cub will grow up and tell you exactly what it was listening to, how it heard you, then became now a wolf. So we always describe that your children are listening, not listening to what you tell them, but what you're doing and how you're acting and what you're saying. Every talk that you have on the way back home from the zikrs or where you were at the zikr and driving home, those kids are listening like sponges. Oh, mocking the shaykh, mocking this, mocking those people were crazy, they're like that, they eat like that, why they ate like that, oh you remember it was doing like this, they talk about it. Everything that happened, the children like sponges, they remember everything, and as soon as their tongue is developed they'll give it to you, and they want nothing to do with the tariqah. So this is not about telling children things, but it's about living the tariqah. When my home knows, no matter what, my immense love for Prophet, my immense love for the way, my immense love for my masters and my guides and my shaykhs regardless of any type of teaching, then they know that's not a thing we're going to talk with dad about. We're not going to try to bend him in his belief system. When there's unwavering, then the children grow up respecting that this is my dad, this is what he believes. So this is the importance, it's not what you say to people but it's what you do. And then that carries through with everyone. Everyone knows you as a Muhammadiyun, and they'll see through the example of your character and your interactions with them. if your character and interactions were bad, they want nothing to do with you and your teachings and your trainings. But if in the event of even through difficulties you treated people with mercy, kindness, with justice, to be just to people who are unjust with you, this is the haqqaiq of tariqah. So, being good to your friends is one thing, but being good to your enemies is a more amazing thing. So being just and keeping the way of justice, and the children see that always your ruling and your actions are very just to people whom like you, and more to the people whom don't like you. You never retaliated, right? So this way we say this pulpit of ours, this teaching of ours reaches tens of thousands of people. But this is like Membar Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is not somewhere where we politically come and take our own advice to go after people and use it like a pulpit to attack this one didn't like us, we attack that one. No, this was not the gift that was given. So this was just to give the love of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the rest of it, get off the mic, it's not your business. So this has to do with the character and the training. When we live that way, our children see it, they understand it, they honour it. Even they don't want to say it, but at some point in their life they come back and say, please Baba, make dua for me, things are difficult. What? The one that you thought wasn't listening the whole time is coming and saying, yeah, please make dua for me, I'm in difficulty, I'm in sadness or something. So alhamdulillah, this is all that matters in life. So just stay firm on what you believe with good character as a good example. The mountain stays firm and people always come back to the mountain. They can be whipped around in tornadoes, but they know the mountain's always there, let's go back to the mountain. And our life was then to awtad, to peg ourselves very deep into the earth, and the wind and turbulence of this dunya doesn't change us. Allah sent a whole bunch of nasty people, not to make you nasty, but to be like a mountain. You see the mountain, how much wind is blowing on it? It doesn't do anything. How much rain throws upon it? Doesn't do anything. How much snow comes onto it? Doesn't do anything. Even people try to bomb mountains to go for mining and take the coal and the resources, still is a mountain standing there. So our life was to be like awtad, like a mountain, a peg that is firm in our faith, inshaAllah, and firm in the good character, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, what is the reality of our shadow? Is it also a creation like ourself, or does it come from the reality of mirroring?
Yeah, I don't know, that's like not on this subject that we're talking about, but this shadow is a symbol of taslim. So we've talked about that many times, that the shadow is Allah attached to us of who we should be and not what the dunya wants us to be. When we stand in this dunya, we think ourselves to be something. Allah attached to everyone their haqqaiq. So you see that guy who's sewn to your feet is devoid of any light and he's completely prostrated to the ground. So be like him. If I give you an opportunity to stand, remember, always go back down. Use your time to stand in life, but not to become arrogant. And go back and make your sujood and do your prayers, and it's always attached, it's been sewn to us, a sign of our heavenly reality, which was to submit and to be devoid of light, not thinking that we're something, that we are a luminous being on our own, but we're merely trying to be a reflection of Divinely lights. Not that we have any source within ourselves, but just to reflect Divinely lights, Divinely grace. So Allah gave to us, then be like your shadow. And if you chase your shadow, it runs away from you because it doesn't like you. Because it doesn't want attention, it wants to follow Allah. But if you follow the light, the shadow will follow you. So our life is to follow the light. Our direction, like the moon, follow the sun, follow the sun. follow the source of light, and the sun represents the realities of Sayyidina Muhammad. If we take a life in which we follow the light of Prophet and to seek a path of being illuminated and filled with lights and blessings, then Allah makes the shadow and taslim to follow us and becomes a symbol that now we're on the right path. But if we're moving away from the sun, our shadow doesn't want anything to do with us, that you're in trouble, you're moving away from the light, and your life is entering into the cold, your life is entering into darkness and doubt. So that was the symbolism of our haqqaiq. We said this is our life is either to move towards the warmth and towards the love and to be nourished by the light of Allah, the light of Prophet, or you turned your back to the light and now you're devoid of light and moving towards the cold and ignorance. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al Mustafa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. Shafad Ya Rasul Kareem, thank you for joining us this weekend. InshaAllah, as we're coming into the Hajj, for our guys who are posting, if we can post about the haqqaiqs of the reality of Hajj book and try to push and promote that so people at least start to read about the Hajj as the month of Hajj opens. It gives us the ability to talk in greater depth of that reality, inshaAllah. Allah dress everyone, bless everyone, and inspire them to put out the promotions, promote the videos, put out all of the links and the immense reality of the Qurban, the charity projects, the charity works, inshaAllah. Bi hurmati Muhammad al Mustafa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. Shafad Ya Rasul Kareem, Ameen. Bay'at, inshaAllah. Let's do it. Ya Nabi sallu alayk. InshaAllah. Okay guys, you guys hold here. Come hold on here, inshaAllah. Intention to make our bay'at to Sultan al-Awliya Ma Shaykh Abdul Faiz al-Dagestani, Shaykh Muhammad Nazim Haqqani, Mawlana Shaykh Muhammad Adil, Barakah Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Kabani, Shaykh Adnan Kabani. Fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Innal ladhina yubayyunaka yubayyuna Allah, yadallahi fawqa aydihim, faman naqadu innaman yaghuthu ala nafsi ومن أوفى بما أهد عليه الله فسيؤتون أجرا عظيما رضي بالله ربا وإسلام دينا وبسيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم رسول والنبي وبالقرآن كتابا واللهم نقول وكيل والحمد لله رب العالمين. وقبلنا بسيدنا سلطان الأولياء الشيخ محمد نازم حقاني شيخنا ومرشدنا ومولانا الشيخ محمد عادل شيخنا ومرشدنا في بركة مولانا الشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني. واللهم نقول وكيل. الله 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 حق، الله 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 حق، الله 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 حق. حق يا ربي يا الله. إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام وعلى مشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العلية، خاصة روحهم طريقة قبط خليك نقشبند محمد ويس البخاري، سلطان أولياء الشيخ عبد الفيز داغستاني، سلطان شيخ محمد ناظم عادل حقاني، مولانا الشيخ هشام كباني، الشيخ عدنان كباني، الشيخ محمد عادل عبد الخالق الخجدواني، صاحب زمان سيدنا محمد المهدي عليه السلام، روح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام، سيف الله سيدنا عليه السلام، ثم سيدنا أبو بكر الصديق، سيدنا عمر، سيدنا عثمان، إمام الحسن عليه السلام، إمام الحسين عليه السلام، سيداتنا فاطمة عليه السلام، شامة الفرداني، عبد الرؤوف اليمني، يوسف الصديق، إمام الإنسان المتقالمين، عرف تيار معروف بالمرهان، برهان كلامنا غوث الأنام، صاحب الوقت سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام، والسائر وسادتنا والصديقين. الفاتحة. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وسادتنا وصديقنا. الفاتحة. شفاء يا رسول الكريم. آمين يا رب العالمين. آمين. تقبل الله. Allah Azza wa Jalla bless everyone, bless everyone, and thank you for joining tonight and the last weekend, and for those coming all this way. Inshallah Allah Azza wa Jalla bless them, bless them. Thank you. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Naqshbandi. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below. The programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments, and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.